Hello, everybody, and welcome back to How to Megamek, Episode 2. Only thing I've really done since last video is I've added the picture to our Elite Mech Techs. So they're styling now. And while I really do want to get into a Megamek match, I feel like this video I'm actually going to want to spend time to explain how to create a contract. And also I need to do a little bit more of some logistics to kind of flesh out and get my unit ready before we actually get into a fight. So the first thing I'm really wanting to do is I'm wanting to hire another personnel. I don't technically have to do this, but I just kind of like it just for the role play of it, perhaps. I want to get an HR person. There we go. What's his name? Edgar Meir or something like that. I might change these names too when we actually get. Well, I ain't going to do it now, but I might do it in between. And maybe with like these actual mech warriors, I might actually put your guys' name in it with a either the real name or as a handle. I've not really decided on that, but if you guys want me to add you in there, I'll do it. That's no big deal to me anyway. So the other thing I want to do, I was actually looking at the vehicle, and this is something I said I was going to do when we actually got these, is people who are familiar with BattleTech. I mean, really, you know what a rifleman is, but here are the stats. I'm not going to actually go too in depth, but if you want to see what this has, you can pause the screen and just take a look at it. But this is the old tech, pretty much the standard rifleman. Trebuchet 7M. This is new tech, and it's something I've noticed, and this is the same with Raven when we get to it later, is I noticed we have narc pods on this and that mech. And I'll explain that a little bit more once we get actually into a battle. But one thing that I'm going to want to actually set up is I'm going to actually get us some ammo with the LRM-15s and the SRM-6 that will actually be able to benefit from having this narc. I mean, this one already comes with it. I think this one does too. Yeah, they already come with it to start, but we're going to want some replacement ammo. So that's something to bear in mind. We don't want. I mean, we could get standard, but it's we want to take advantage of everything we can. Anyway, here's the Raven 3L. 3L is one of those stealth mechs in MWO. They still have the full suite of electronic warfare in then the basic tabletop, but it's not quite the cloaking device that it is in MWO. And the Hermes 2. This is, I believe, an old tech. It looks to be it's a 40 tonner, pretty quick. It's actually almost a light. Actually, no, it's a 6.9. I'm thinking of some different mech apparently. Even so, it's not too heavily armored, but it's still considered a medium, and that will be our fourth mech. The Brutus assault tank. This is one I am not too familiar with, but here at a glance, LRM-20s and 2 large lasers on the turret, and a bunch of SRMs in the front. So this thing can you'll find this a lot with vehicles, is they can really pack on the weapons, but the downside is they're very vulnerable to damage. Even if they've got a lot of armor, they can get some criticals on like the drivetrain and so forth. And this is one I was looking at a little earlier off screen. First of all, it's got a bunch of these missiles again, a bunch of machine guns and SRM-4s on the turret. But the interesting thing I saw here is we have 3 tons worth of troop carrying capacity. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get us some infantry. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase unit. Go ahead and get us infantry. And what I understand, the weights listed here, we've got 3 tons, and I already know what I'm going to go after. But one change I made off screen, which to the options, is I turned off the ability to purchase clan units, because first of all, I'm a mercenary unit, we're in 3050. It's not realistic for me to be able to buy clan stuff. Salvage, yes. Buy, no. Later on we can maybe turn that back on, but when I was looking at this list, it was like 2/3 of the list was clan stuff, so it was just getting in my way. But what I'm going to go after here is this foot platoon. Foot platoon of machine guns, which from the year 1940s. These are World War II guys. Not really. They're not using machine guns from World War II, but basically all this means is in 1940 you could get something like this. See, 2.8 weight, so that means that Maxim can carry it around. So my target number to actually acquire this is going to be 2 plus. So it won't be our HR lady, it'll be our logistics lady. We'll have to roll against that, and she should succeed. So it's going to cost us 9,800. That's not much money at all. And what this is actually I'm buying the equipment. I'm buying the rifles, the machine guns. We're going to have to actually fill it out with people later. Once the rifles are delivered in 2 months. Wow, it's going to be a while. So that's that taken care of. That's going to be 2 months. Jeez. But we'll deal with that as it comes up. The other thing I want to do is warehouse stuff. And I'm going to do most of this off screen. I just want to show you what I'm going to be doing. And then I'll show you the results when I come back. So we want to purchase some parts. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get us some armor. Standard armor. I believe it says 80 points. I believe it's like 5 tons. It should say here. Yeah, 5 tons worth of standard armor. And you can get down here, you can either just buy it straight up or you buy it in bulk. We're going to buy it in bulk. We're going to get 20 units of it. So about 100 tons worth of armor at 50,000 a piece. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. And what she's going to do is she's going to roll against this target number of 5 plus. And I think she does it for each of the 20. So let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, she didn't get all of it, but she got most of it. And what we'll see down here is she's attempting to find, well, so here's her attempt to find the flip platoon. 2, she rolled a 5, she found it. She's finding, I don't know why it rolled it like this. But here's the rolls she made on the armor. She made it twice, and then on the third try she didn't. So 90 tons of it is going to put in procurement, which I think she re-rolls automatically later. But I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording now. I'm going to take care of the rest of our procurement here, and I'll show you what we get. It's not going to be a whole heck of a lot because there's a lot of stuff that is very specific to certain mechs, which I'm not going to mess with right now. But I will be back shortly. All right, I'm back, and I didn't really have a whole lot of success. You can see here I've got plenty of AC5 ammo on the way, and the rest of it yeah, there's all the successes on the AC5 ammo. I forget, I'm just reading up here. 63 days, 30 some odd days, 42. I mean, all these have different. Here's one coming in at 14 days. That'll be nice. I tried to get some narc pods, extra narc pods. Didn't find any at the first try. And the 30 shots have been added to the procurement list. I got my SRM6 narc capable pods. I didn't get those either, and because you can see the target number here is 7. On a lot of these are kind of hard to find parts, and also the LRM-15 NARC capable. So she will try again. I think in 7 days or I don't forget what did we mark it as. Oh, I'm going to go back and check in the options really quickly. It was either 7 or 3. I think we actually changed it to 3 days. Delivery time to acquisition waiting period between acquisition 3 days. Yeah. Okay. So in 3 days, she'll try again and try to get those parts, and then at that point, if she gets them, then that's when they'll start the transit order. But that's what we got coming in so far. It's going to take a while. This actually will probably say, yeah, it's going to take a while for our armor to get in, and because of that, I'm actually going to probably extend out our contract to start until we actually get some of our parts in, probably 2 months. It's going to cost us a little bit in overhead, but I think it's worth it to go in prepared. Speaking of which, let's go on over here to add a mission. Now, go ahead and click on here. This is the how you actually set up Mech HQ to interact with Megamek. We'll go here, add mission, And see, the new mission would be if I was just playing as a house unit, like let's say a house Merrick unit. You don't have contracts; you just have missions, and that mission you'll have the scenarios. You'll go do it, and you'll come back, and you're good to go. Well, I enjoy the actual economic aspect of a mercenary. I think a lot of people do, as popular as they are. So we're going to go ahead and go into contract. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff here that you may or may not be familiar with. And for me, and this is where it's kind of somewhat problematic, the fact that I'm doing this solo, because I can enter whatever values I want here and just get all kinds of junk. There is no quick way to randomly do it normally. However, what I've done is I've went and found a program that helps to randomize this aspect of it. I've actually found a couple things that's going to help us out here. First, I'm going to pull up the randomization program. Let me find it right quick. Ta-da, it's over here. Ta-da! It doesn't fit on the screen. Whoops, that ain't right. There we are. So here we have the mercenary contract generator. I don't remember specifically off the top of my head where I got this, but I will put the description down and below where I got it, where you can find it. You could do it two ways. Well, first you have your options. You can set up your unit. I've already done this once wrong, as it turns out, but our unit name is going to be the 1st Sierra Rangers. Most of this is just fluff anyway. But I can't change the time period, but it's going to be 3050. Don't worry about that. And 6 units. This is kind of a strange way to do it. It isn't a numerical. I think it's just again, fluff text. Now this is one that we do need to change because I misread that when I first saw it. Our base pay for unit C-bills in a month is going to be not multiplied by 2 and actually 1 month. So it's going to be 25,267. So I'll input that number here. 25,267. Okay. And also our Dragoon rating down here we can see is C. So you can do a kind of a custom contract where you can keep like several of it random, but if you like definitely wanted like salvage rights or whatever, you could do it that way. I'm not going to do it that way. We're going to have a completely random one where all it wants to know is my Dragoon rating, which in this case it's C. So let's see what pops up. 2 missions. Both are for the Free World League apparently. Interesting. Okay, first is garrison duty and the other is cadre duty. Neither one of them offers salvage rights, which is annoying. Very annoying, actually. Some straight support. Well, let me go over one of these contracts, and I can tell you kind of what it's doing here. Assignment is garrison duty. This is going to be important later when we actually determine the scenarios we do. Contract length 1 year, 3 months. That's a long time. Payment's going to be the pay we inputted there times the length of the contract times this multiplier. And this multiplier is it's developed by your Dragoon rating, who your employer is, and what you're going to be doing. That's what that multiplier is. In this case, we would get paid 87,400. Not a whole lot much at all. Straight support. This is basically our maintenance costs, like our tech costs, so forth. 50. They're willing to pay 55% of that. A battle loss compensation. If we actually do get into a fight, whatever damage we take, they will compensate us 20% for. Dropship, jump ship compensation. This is a lot of transport. We actually have to get to wherever this mission is, and so 10% isn't a whole lot. It's just basically a token payment. Commercial compensation says 33%. I don't know what commercial compensation is, but I'm assuming it has something to do with overhead compensation. And 33%, I would just probably round that up to half compensation. Salvage rights, unfortunately, no rights. Command rights, there's 4 kinds of command rights. You have your independent, which means you're free to do the mission as you see fit. Liaison officer is more or less the same thing. You're free to do your mission as you see fit, but you have a representative, in this case from the Free Worlds League, who's just making sure that you're looking after the Free Worlds League's interest as well. You have house rights, which means that you are put under direct control of the house, which means that you would be acting as an independent unit, but you would be following orders from probably a general somewhere. And you also have integrated, which means that they actually put your unit in with one of their units, and you're inside that unit's command structure. That's probably the most restrictive form of command rights. You have no autonomy at all. You're under a chain of command. In this case, I want the start date to be, well, I don't know. That's going to be random. Also, the location, it always says outreach, so I don't know. We'll have to figure that out ourselves if we choose that mission. Now, I don't like this mission. I don't like either one of those. Cadre duty is, garrison duty is basically they put me on a world to free up actual mainline units to go elsewhere. It's actually very not combat intensive, which might be a good thing for our first starting missions. I might think about that. The other is the second contract is going to be a cadre duty, which basically means you're going out and training people. I'm just looking over the numbers here to see if it would actually be a better deal for us. It's a longer contract, which is somewhat problematic. It's less pay, slightly more support, more transport costs. That would tie us up for 2 years to do that. Thinking. I am going to pause while I ponder. Okay, I have a plan. I just looked up the rules in the Mercenaries Field Manual for Battletech. And what it says is if I decide to decline all offers, I cannot roll again for a month. Well, I've already decided I want to give my unit 2 months to get stocked up and ready to go. So now I'm not going to have you wait here. I really want to get the contract done in this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself 2 months. So I'm basically going to give myself 2 rerolls here to actually get some. And if the third reroll is still something I don't want, we're going to be stuck with it because we need to get going and get our money going. So let me go ahead and roll up another randoms. We're still Dragoon rating C. Okay, we've got 3 contracts this one for the Capellans, one for the Federated Commonwealth, and the Free Worlds League. Objective raid, this is actually us going somewhere and smashing something, which is kind of nice. Got exchange rights, which is also kind of nice. That one doesn't look bad at all. 2 months, I kind of like it. See what the Free Worlds League does. More garrison duty. They're willing to give us exchange rights. This would be a year and 8 months. Not as much money, it doesn't appear. Although I think that's monthly. That might be monthly. It's also liaison. These are all liaison. And down here, objective raid against the clans. No rights, house command. Yeah, I'm really liking the look of this Capellan Confederation one. Much as I don't like Liao, they're willing to give us some money, and that's not a very long contract. I really like that. I really like that a lot. The only downside is that's only going to give us a month. Because with an objective raid, they're probably wanting us to get going as quick as they can. So I don't want to risk losing that. So we're going to accept it. We're going to want to wait 1 month to get everything, in stock, and also by rule allow us to get this reroll. So let me go ahead and get these numbers in here. Contract's going to be who are we going to raid against? Well, they don't like the Federated Commonwealth, so we're going to do a raid against some world in the Federated Commonwealth, which I'll figure out later. But raid against Fedrats. It's going to be the name of the contract. Location, I don't know yet. Employer is going to be the Capellan Confederation, which I might have just misspelled. I don't know. Mission type is an objective. It is objective raid, isn't it? Yes. We have an objective. start date. See, here's another issue I'm going to have here. We know it's going to be in February. I want to say it's going to start in the middle of February. So randomly, I'm just going to say the 14th. So at the beginning of the 14th, that's when we're actually going to probably get going. I don't know how. Depends on what planet we choose as to how long it actually is going to take us there. But that's what time they want to start, and from there it's going to be a 2-month contract. So 2 months. Payment multiplier, it said 7.68. Very nice. Command rights are liaison. Overhead. What did I say? That was commercial, did I say? We'll round that up to 50. So half commercial or overhead compensation. Transport terms, 32%. Salvage rights is exchange rights. And what that means is basically every salvage we bring in, they pay us the value of that salvage in monies. And I think at 50%, it's like they pay us half or something like that. See, battle loss compensation. %, not much. And the other one's 65%. I don't think it advances randomly, so I just leave it at 25. Estimated total profits is going to be 316,000. So this is it. I'll find a location here a little bit, but I want to finalize this contract and get it started so I can show you how to add scenarios and how I'm going to be adding scenarios. So here we see the mission. Raid against Federaz. I could change it this way if I wanted to. Change, if we have more than one mission for some reason. And now we need to add scenarios. And that's what this is all about. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually I have a Excel program that's going to give us a bunch of rules, and I'm not going to go too in depth with it. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you just quickly show you what it is. All right, you silly thing. Shrink. Alright, did a little bit of a cut there, but kind of needed. I got my windows all confused, but basically all it is a XLS sheet that has some rules on generating scenarios. And, excuse me one moment. Sorry about that, a little bit of a sneeze. You have different kind of contract types, and basically what it's going to say is every week you're going to have roll, and if you is it week contract change number battles possible? I believe it's battles per week. So like we're on an objective raid, so I'm going to roll a 1d6 and I'm going to -3, and however many number that is, that's how many missions we're going to actually have, and the battle type will be down here. And there's several different kinds of possibilities. How would you roll a 13 on a 2d6? There must be modifiers. Yeah, morale. I don't know. I mean, it's just basically rules that someone's come up with to help people like me who's trying to do a solo campaign, set up the battles. And the thing is, with the battles, I'm not going to be playing solo. I'm going to find people from the Free Worlds League militia to actually fight against, or military, Free Worlds League military, not militia, FWLM. In the Megamek. So they're going to be playing as the opponents in whatever I'm rolling up here. But what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera, but I'm going to set up the scenarios we're going to have for the entire 2 months that we're going to be running. So let me go ahead and get at that, and I will be back to show you the results.